G'day ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sean E Avery, the author-illustrator of Frank's Red Hat. I'm here at the City of Subiaco's Art in April sessions. I'm now going to walk you through the steps of how I would create a snowy landscape digitally. Using a MacBook Pro, a Wacom Intuos 4 tablet and Photoshop. This is just what I do, but don't feel like you have to have Photoshop or anything, crazy expensive like this. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to my master textures board. So this is all a bunch of textures that I have, I've painted or I've scribbled with pencil or pen or crayons. I've scanned it into my computer and now they're all good to go. I can select these and I can cut them up and arrange them however I want them to fit into my landscape. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna start with just some water. This little texture over here looks quite nice for water. So I'm just gonna use my selection tool and I'm gonna highlight that, copy it, and paste it into my document here. So going across the page like so. Okay, there's our water. Now, I'm gonna select some sky. This one over here might work. So I'm now gonna select this area, transform it and arrange it. There we go. So now I've got sky and I've got land, and you can see in the layers panel here, I've got 2 different layers for each section and I can move it however I want, if I want a little less sky or a little bit more water. Now I'm gonna start putting some mountains into those backgrounds. So I'm gonna have a look for a nice textured slate sort of look. Something like this might work, maybe around here. And now I'm gonna use my lasso tool to sort of select a bit of a mountain range shape. So I'm kind of just sort of jiggling my pen around a little bit. I'm gonna put a little layer mask on that one. And there we go, I've got some mountains. And I can switch to my brush tool and paint on this mask and sort of refine this shape a little bit more. That's looking pretty cool. The sky is pretty dark, so I might bring up my levels panel and I'll drop the intensity of that sky down a little bit so it's more of a gray. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select a brush that's kind of like a, maybe a bit of a speckly sort of brush, just painting on some snow onto the tops of my mountains. So very simply, we've created these sort of background mountains. Now I'm gonna add in a snowbank to the foreground. This is folded tissue paper over here. And I'm actually using this natural curve in the paper to create that snowbank down the front. I want to start adding in some clouds, and there's a lot of really useful brushes that you can just go into Google and Google cloud brushes. And there we go, we've got some pretty nice looking clouds happening. And I'm gonna start creating a little bit of like frothiness around the base of these mountains. That's looking pretty nice. I'm just gonna finish up here with some snow. So this is gonna be my foreground snow. It's quite a large one. I'm just gonna press it once. And there we go, we've got snow falling from the sky. And then in the background, I'm gonna have some slightly smaller snow because of course things that are further back looks a lot smaller. And that's basically how I create a snowy landscape in Photoshop. If you're using Photoshop or Procreate, definitely take advantage of all the different types of brushes that you can download for free. Looks really professional and it's really easy, really fun to do.